What's up YouTube, Adam here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing you my full review of this. This is the RodeLink Filmmaker wireless audio system, and this is a wireless microphone system. Now Rode, obviously famous for a whole bunch of audio type devices, I decided to go with them as my existing analog wireless microphone system is getting a little bit antiquated, and this one looked like a very good deal in terms of the overall price. Now this comes in at about £280 or about $400 in the US, which is significantly less than most of the other solutions that are out there on the marketplace today. So for me this was a great purchase, and it's got a couple of features as well that I will come back to a little bit later on in the video. But indeed, this was a purchase, this is not a review product, so everything I say about it obviously is coming from a purchaser's point of view. Now let's have a look at a few of the details that we've got here on the packaging. First of all, this is a digital transmission, like I said earlier, so 2.4 gigahertz digital transmission, also 128-bit encrypted signal as well, so this is completely secure. 100 meters range, and in fact while we're talking about that I'll tell you a little bit about my findings in terms of the overall range between the receiver and also the transmitter as well. Outside it definitely goes beyond 100 meters if you've got line of sight, no problem whatsoever, and well up until that and beyond the signal is completely perfect. And in fact it really doesn't make much of a difference whether you are close to the transmitter or whether you're actually quite far away, the audio stays exactly the same. Rode have got some technology built into that to pick the best frequency available and various other technical kind of aspects, and it really does work fantastically well in terms of range. When you come inside and you've possibly got walls in between you or interference from other kind of objects, the actual distance definitely decreases. Now I've found that I can actually be on this level of my house, go to the top level of my house, which is 3 floors up, be in completely separate rooms, and it still works. However, when I go to a certain other area of the house, it cuts in and out. So the range when you're inside can definitely change compared to that when you're outside, but that's obviously to be expected. Now this obviously includes the transmitter, the receiver, and also the lavalier microphone as well. Now normally you would hide the microphone on the talent, maybe you would kind of put it underneath the shirt somehow and stick it on, or you know, various other places, and Rode in fact do a whole bunch of different types of microphones that you can use, but I've left this on display today just purely for review purposes. Now in addition to that you have the actual transmitter itself, and then you have the receiver over on top of the camera. Now one of the things that really attracted me to this particular device, and I've said this before when it comes to audio, is that the audio preamps on, for example, the 1DC that I'm using at the moment, or the Sony A7R Mark II that I've got over there, they are absolutely awful. And even when you step up to some of the real professional cameras with XLR inputs, the preamps still aren't particularly great. Now what that means is that you're going to have to record your audio separately into a audio recorder, and for a lot of workflows that's the way it needs to be, and that's absolutely fantastic. However, if you do want to record directly into the camera, as I personally like to do for a simplified workflow, then you need to have excellent preamps on your audio equipment in order to turn down the preamps inside the camera itself. So to give you an example, on the Canon 1DC that we're using at the moment, I've got the preamp set down to the very lowest setting. So for example, let's say there's 20 or 25 or 30 settings, I would always have it on the one above 0, which in this case would be just number 1. Now, what that means then is that your audio is obviously going to be very quiet if you're using a direct input. But with the RodeLinks, and in fact on other microphones from Rode as well, for example the Video Mic Pro that I use, they have a setting which enables you to do a +10 or a +20 dB in terms of the preamps. So if you turn this up to a +10 or a +20, the input signal going into the camera compensates for the fact that you've turned the audio signal in the camera right the way down. So that means that you're going to get the right volume audio, and it's going to be coming from a nice, clean, good, strong output with a high gain microphone. And that is the case with these, and not many microphones have that. So what I've done in this situation is that I've done some tests with +10 and +20 dBs. plus 10, even with the Canon set to the very lowest setting that it is before you turn the audio off, actually gives you a very nice clean output, and it just about gets to the right level of volume that you need. However, to go just slightly beyond that, you really need to set it to plus 20, and it's great because the audio still stays clean. You don't get any static or background hiss or hum, but you're still getting the high volume of audio that you need to have. So in terms of the actual audio quality itself, now you guys have been listening to this video right the way through, so you'll know exactly what the audio quality is because I'm using it right here. Now when you're talking, the sound quality is all very well and good, but the real test to see how clean the amps are on the microphones themselves going through the DSLR is to have silence. So let's have some silence just for a minute here and see how quiet they are. Now, as you can tell, and I have done this test earlier, they are extremely quiet indeed. Any hum or background noise you can hear is really the ambient noise in the room with a lot of technology going on. So extremely impressed with the audio quality, even on the plus 20 dB from the RodeLinks. Let's quickly talk about the hardware. The receiver and the transmitter are both made out of a plastic material, so they're not going to be as durable as metal ones would, but then the metal ones are significantly more expensive. However, the quality of the plastic that they've used is definitely a high grade plastic. It feels durable, it feels like it can take a certain amount of wear and tear as well, so I don't think there'll be too much of a problem with that. However, if you really are going to be putting them through their paces, then it may well be worth going with the metal units. All of the 3.5mm jack sockets are all threaded, so you've got the ability to really screw those in and make sure they're not going to come out by accident when you're doing some filming, which is very important. The channels and the way you select the channels is very simplistic. They take two AA batteries, you turn them on and they just work. If you want to change the channel for whatever reason, you can do that very simply, and they automatically repair with themselves on a different frequency. Overall, extremely pleased with the RodeLink microphones. Really pleased, mainly for the point that I can have that simplified workflow, the audio going straight into the camera, everything is in one file, the video and the audio, and I don't have to work in post in putting them all back together again, which for me just makes things a little bit simpler. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, I really do appreciate it. Please do go ahead and hit that like button for me, and I will see you all in the next one. See ya.